I'm Andrea Giles, and you're listening to the Heal from Infidelity podcast, episode number 158, Changing Your Mind. Hello, and welcome to the Heal from Infidelity podcast, where courageous women learn not only to heal from their spouse's betrayal, but to become the boldest, truest, most decisive, and confident versions of themselves ever. If you know there's more for you than the life you're currently living, but don't quite know how to get there, you are in the right place. Stick around to learn how to create a life that will knock your own socks off. Is it possible? It is, and I'm here to show you how. I'm your host, Andrea Giles. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Hello, my beautiful listeners. Welcome back to another episode of Heal from Infidelity. Today, we are going to talk about changing our mind. When to change our mind? Why would we change our mind? All the different things talk about changing our mind, okay? Before I dive into that, I want you, if you have never watched my class, How to Get Your Life Back After Infidelity, Whether You Stay or Go, it's available now. It is free. It is in the show notes. Go grab it. It's a great class. You'll learn a lot. You'll get to know more about me, my style, how I work, all of that. Go check it out. All right. Now, changing your mind. Let's talk about changing your mind. The reason I decided to talk about this topic today is because yesterday I was minding my own business and I got an email from Terry Real, and I am in his certification program. I've been in all year. I'm winding down, completing all the things I need to do. But he sent this email out, and it was this very long email, and it really struck me at how powerful the things that he was saying were. So what it was about is that a while ago in our community, in the community of all the people that are certifying, he made a comment in there basically taking a stand about something. And I'll just share with you what it was about. He said that he did not think that any of us should ever use the words that we're offended, and that we should strike it from our vocabulary. Anyway, apparently, I never saw that initial thing, but apparently he got a lot of pushback from people, like a lot of pushback. And then he started to do his own research into that and why he thought that, and talk to people, ask questions, listen to people. And guess what he did? He wrote up this very thoughtful, very long email all about why he was wrong. And he sent an apology. And he said, I retract my statement. I've changed my mind. I no longer believe that. He is such a leader to me in changing your mind, in being schooled, in being taught, in being open, and being humble. This is Terry Real, who has been a therapist for over 40 years and worked with the biggest names in the industry, admitting very publicly that he retracts something he said, that he was wrong, and that he's sorry. Now, why does this matter for all of you? Why it matters is because sometimes when I first start working with people, they'll come to me having already made up their mind about, for example, if they're staying or going. They'll say, I already know I'm staying. I already know. And the thing is that when we hold so tight onto something, like my mind is made up, this is what I'm doing, we really block our ability to look at all the things that we need to see. It's like, I can look at this as long as the answer is that I stay. Or the opposite. I can look at these things as long as the answer is that I don't need to go back, that I'm leaving, I'm done. I don't want to go back. I don't want anything to deter me from that. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about why it's so hard to change our mind, why we struggle to change our mind. One reason we struggle is because of cognitive biases. We tend to seek out information that confirms what we believe. We have a hard time seeking out information that might counter what we believe. We are less likely to do that. We are more inclined to look for evidence of what we already think is true. Another thing that we do, it's called sunk cost fallacy. We stick to decisions because of past investments. Okay, so in marriage or a long-term relationship or just any relationship, there's an investment, right? And sometimes we think that we have to stick to that decision or that investment because we've already invested so much. I've already invested so much, I don't want to lose my investment, right? Another thing we do is we are afraid of judgment. We have societal pressures and we worry about what people will think. We worry about people thinking we're flaky or inconsistent. And so this might be hard for us to admit when we've changed our mind. That's partly why I was so impressed with Terry's email yesterday. He just owned it. He just owned it. And it made me respect him that much more. Another piece is identity and ego. Okay, changing our mind can be tied to our identity. Like if we choose to stay, if we choose to leave. I know for me, when I chose to leave in my first marriage, it was like a full-on identity crisis. Like, who am I if I'm not a married woman? I'd been married for 16 years. Most of my adult years, I was married. And it really felt very challenging to that image of myself. Like, I felt pretty lost. That identity felt pretty lost. And so changing our mind when it rubs up against something like this, like an identity type thing, can be really challenging. And we might not want to look at it, right? It might be really hard to look at. It might be a blow to our ego. Changing our mind might mean losing a little something of ourselves temporarily. Okay, next, the benefits of changing your mind. I believe that we are here to grow. I believe that we are here to shed false beliefs that we have about ourselves, about the world, about other people, and to really grow into who we really are. I believe that being willing to change our minds reflects personal growth and an openness to new information and new perspectives. When we can drop our preconceived ideas about something, our long-held beliefs about something, and actually open up to a new perspective, like I might not actually have all the answers here. I might not have all the information. There is so much growth in that. There's so much new information, so many new perspectives that we can gain. Okay? In our world, we've had many societal leaders that have changed their mind, and often they come under fire for it, right? Oh my gosh, they're a flip-flopper, right? They change their mind constantly. And while I would be naive if I said that some of it isn't to appease this party or this group of people or this group of people, I do think that in the public eye, it does happen. It's very real that we change our mind. That one thing that we might have a really strong opinion about, we might brush up with a personal experience with somebody. We might just have like a general idea, right? General idea. And then we actually meet people who are living the very thing that we have the idea about, and we get to know their experience and hear their views on it, and we can change our mind. I think that's what happens a lot in politics, is that people grow and evolve, and then they change their mind. And sometimes, yes, it's for the looks of it, but I do think that there are some where it is genuine, that they genuinely change their mind, right? And in my opinion, when this comes from an honest place, it actually makes me trust people more because I know that they are somebody that lives with integrity. It might seem counterintuitive, but I trust people more who are open and teachable than rigid and locked into a view. To me, it is a strength. To me, it shows that this person is resilient and adaptable in both their personal life and in professional things, that I can trust them. Okay? Mental health professionals will say that rigid thinking is very bad for mental health. It creates more stress, whereas being open to change can promote mental well-being. That means being willing to change your mind can promote mental well-being. Who knew, right? Okay. Next, how to change your mind, when to change your mind. In my first marriage, I had a lot of data, and I decided that that I wanted to stay. I really wanted to stay. I talked about this on my last episode a little bit, that I actually felt at peace with it. I felt like my highest growth was to stay. And I'm going to share something even more personal than that. I remember having this deep intuitive message come to me during that time. Give him everything you've got. Love him with everything you've got. And I felt like that was something I could get behind. This person that had really hurt me, this person that had let me down, I wanted to love this person with everything I had. And so I did. And it was genuine. And I loved this person. And I was forgiving, and I was willing to start anew and make new memories and move forward. The problem is that it didn't last long. I was willing, and over time, what I found is that he was not, that he wanted to continue doing some of the things he was already doing. It was made known to me. And then I changed my mind. And I decided to leave. I had new data. I had new information. It was no longer a loving environment for me to stay in. But I have experienced what it feels like to stay and to leave and to find peace both ways. I know how it feels both ways. Okay? So I changed my mind because I had new data, and I recognized that now my highest growth was to leave, was to say no. And I stepped into that, okay? How to become more open to changing your mind. A few ideas. Curiosity. I talk about this all the time in my program with my ladies. If we can just crack open our brains to like 1% curiosity instead of really rigid ideas about people, we're going to learn a lot. We're going to learn a lot. We're going to learn that we're often wrong. So what I encourage you to do is, rather than making blanket statements about things, ask questions. You want to push it even further? Seek out opposing views as a way to challenge your own thinking. Hear the other side. Hear what other people have to say. Okay, this person thinks so different than me. I want to know why. I want to understand. I want to hear it. And it can totally feel threatening to you, but it doesn't have to. Okay, it does not have to. You can be open, and you know what? If it leads you to changing your own mind, it's coming from a place of honesty and integrity, and you do not need to fear that, okay? Be willing to admit when you're wrong. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to change our opinion when we have new facts, just like the example of Terry Real. Check in with yourself. Know what your values are. Recognize what they are, and when our long-held beliefs are no longer working for us, where they're no longer in alignment with new information. All right? One of the most important things about being able to change your mind, being willing to change your mind, is this. So many of us are so afraid to make a move. We're so afraid to even take a step forward because we're so afraid that if we do, we're going to be wrong. We're going to get it wrong. We're going to mess up. We're going to hurt people, right? I want you to know that what actually happens is when we make a decision and take a step forward, we are given more information. We're given more data. So, for example, when there's something that we have held back on and we finally decide, okay, now's the time. This is a little micro decision. Now's the time. I'm going to go to my spouse and I'm going to bring this thing up. I know it will ruffle feathers. I know it will be uncomfortable, and I'm willing to do that. Okay, we could have hemmed and hawed and been so afraid of even having that conversation for weeks and months. And finally going, it's time, I'm doing it. The time is now. We know we might not get what we want in that conversation. We recognize that, but we do it anyway, right? Because that's the courageous thing to do. Now, the thing that happens is we have that conversation and we might have a plan of what we are planning on doing in our relationship. We can have new data, and guess what? It might change our mind. We might go, you know what? I planned on this. And with that information, I actually think I might go a different direction. It's not what I was planning. But this is what it looks like. It's really, really important. It's being flexible. It's being malleable. It's being teachable. It's being humble. It's being open. It's going, this thing that I was so sure of, I am not sure of anymore. And I'm not sure what I am sure of, but I'm open. There's a beautiful surrender to it. There's a beautiful not needing to know. There's a beautiful not needing to be right. It's softer. And the thing is that when we're softer, we're more open, we get more data, we get more information, and we can move forward. Changing your mind is not a bad thing. Changing your mind is a beautiful thing when it comes from your integrity, your growth, your transformation. Lean into it. Trust that you can make a move and that you can handle what comes. If you need to change your mind, you can change your mind, and it's not the end of the world, okay? All right, my beautiful people, so much love to you. Go out there and challenge those beliefs, okay? Challenge those thoughts, challenge those beliefs. All right, I'll see you next time. Thank you for listening to the Heal from Infidelity podcast. If you would like to be kept in the know about upcoming free classes, new podcast episodes, and other ways of working with me, go subscribe to my weekly email. You can subscribe at andreagiles.com/lies-about-infidelity/. Again, it's andreagiles.com/lies-about-infidelity/. I will see you next time.